The referee today is Tim Mander. Video referee is John Gosher.
Both those places are very low. Which one are we going?
Just about set. The end of a chapter in the history of the great club Balmain, the last appearance for them. And first touch of the ball for Walker. And history is against them as they attempt to go out winners because they've never won here at Bruce Stadium. They've been unsuccessful on the road, losing their last 15 matches away from Leichhardt. Of course, only once have they gone through a season losing all away games. That was in 1926. It's a bit of pride on the line here today for the Tigers. And Field charged down. And so the tackle count will start again as Nathan Webber plays it. This is Jason Lowry. Let's go sideline now. And Brett Keddy. A few showers around.
Well, there is, Greg. It is quite overcast. It's been raining on and off all day. But as far as the ground conditions are concerned, no problems there. The rain hasn't affected that. There is a slight breeze favouring Balmain. But mate, I think it's going to be a good game of football. I know that neither one of these sides have a great deal to play for as far as semi-final aspirations are concerned, but I think there's a lot of pride at stake.
Luke DeVico, that's 10 metres inside Balmain territory. And Glenn, what about the strip the Raiders are wearing today? No doubt brings back a few memories.
Yeah, it certainly does. And again, it's a nice touch, to see the Raiders jerseys as they were some years ago, or in '89 when we played in that grand final. And as I said, as Brett just said, there's a lot of pride in those jerseys, and there'll be a lot of pride out here today. So it's going to be a very, very good game.
Well, Webster cleaning up that mistake by Canberra and picking up some good meters for the Tigers. And so Balmain are about 5 metres inside Canberra territory. Craig Field fires it out to Stimson. Named on the bench. A late replacement in the starting 13 for Tyron Smith. Nabel now skirting out of dummy half. Centre. Gives it over to Walker. He turns it back to Webster and Lowry. He'll take the tackle. Wiki in there. Also Burnham. Now it's Field. Running to the line. Just nudging it in behind. And Vaynerkolo got a bad bounce. And, well, he did well to stay in the field of play. He's mesmerised by the bounce for a while there. McLinden.
Just a very nervous-looking winger there, but did a great job in staying in. And now, of course, Canberra have the ball and are deep in their own half. A very nervous start from both sides, but I think that'll settle down once they get a few sets of 6 completed, and we'll see the game flow a bit better.
DeVico now. In Canberra, they've had 7 wins, 3 losses and a draw here at home, so they'll be determined to go out a winner. Just to remind sides that in the year 2000, it is difficult to win down here in the nation's capital. Win or lose, of course, they'll finish 9th today. And they find touch over in the far side. We're going into this final round, Glenn. The Raiders had scored 102 tries, which is second in the NRL behind your side, Melbourne, but defence has let them down somewhat. They've conceded 76 tries, and that's about 9th in the NRL. So at the end of this game, they'll be able to sit down and reflect on 99, saying, if only.
Well, look, traditionally, the side with the best defence plays in the grand final 9 out of 10 times, and probably the same percentage would mean that they actually win the football game. And I just feel that once they look back on the year Canberra, they'll feel it was one year that got away on them. I can remember 3 games here against St George, down at Sydney Football Stadium against South, and of course over in Auckland against Auckland. 3 games that Canberra had in the bag, and it just let the other sides out off the hook and actually lose the games. Another 6 points, they'd be cemented into the top 4 virtually, and playing here for everything. But not to be the year for the Raiders, and let's see how they go here.
Well, over on the far side, that's Joel Kane, and he's bundled into touch. Good cover defence across there, and Jensen stuck to his man as well.
Great cover tackle. They showed him the sideline and put him over, which is what we'd like to see in wingers. Putting him over the sideline so they get the feed and the loose head.
Brett, already we've seen that Balmain are prepared to throw it wide.
Well, Greg, I mean, they are prepared to throw it wide, as you're saying. But I think, look, I just feel that the side that mentally is prepared to to put in a good performance will win this game. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, neither side, I guess, has anything to play for, but these are the types of games where you need to be mentally prepared, knowing it's the last game of the season, and I think the side that's well adjusted that way will go on and win this.
Tim Manor, the referee, got a call from the touchy there. That pass was forward.
Of course, the rumours are that well, I think very hardly done by the Canberra side. Just on the ref, there is a few rumours going around that he is pushing Steve Clark and Bill Harrigan for that #1 refereeing job. So he'll be looking for a good performance out here today.
This is Field. Tackled by Vainikolo. 10 metres inside the Raiders' territory. Centre. Getting it out to O'Neill. Abel waiting for it at dummy half. This is Walker. Wide they go to Carlaw. Angle run back on the inside, but he was met by DeVico and also Daly. To the short side again, and Walker can't get the pass away. Taken ball and all. There's a kick from Field again, and McLinden got a pretty good bounce this time, and the chase was good. The defence was good also from the debutant Nathan Webber. Now it's Vainikolo. Williamson from dummy half, ran into Webber, and also Field. Burnham, DeVico. Solid start by DeVico. Wiki. Back to Burnham. And DeVico again. Can't get away from Darren Centre. And also Stimson. Daly. Bit of pressure on him. Got the kick away though. And it's a good bounce now for the fullback. It's Chris Morecambe. So he's got David Ferner there, and he's penalised right on the halfway mark.
And Chris Morecambe cleaning up very well there, and I think just a little bit of frustration coming into it there. Now twice now Canberra have failed to get a good clearing kick away, which is obviously due to the fact that the Balmain side are up hassling the kickers for Canberra, which also indicates that they are very enthusiastic. 7.5
minutes gone. Still no score in the match. This is Jason Lowry, his 129th match. Still looking for his first try in first grade. So we'll try and get Lowry across the line today, will we? It's been a long time coming. This is his front row partner, Walker. He's 10 metres out. Abel to the left. Stimson gives it back to Field. Fires it out now to Carlaw. Taken by Schrader. Field. Centre. O'Neill. Dummies. And centre. Looking for the first try. Heading for the line and crashes over. His 100th appearance for the Balmain Tigers. And Darren Centre gets the first try of the match. A fairly healthy Balmain crowd here in Canberra today. Wave the flags. That's a good start. 9th minute.
Well, put that try down to the pressure that the Balmain side put on the Canberra kickers. They were in good field position here. They went wide. Fairly quick play of the ball. In fact, left the Canberra player on the ground, and of course sheer strength here when Darren Centre just pushed aside the centre in Luke Williamson and went out for a try. Just as I said, just a try through sheer amount of pressure put on by the Balmain side.
Well, as you mentioned, just it's this strength and enthusiasm. I mean, I think the way Balmain have started, they've got more enthusiasm at the moment than what the Raiders had. Maybe this try against the Raiders might spark a bit more enthusiasm out of them, but the Tigers have started very well, and let's hope they can continue on.
Well, the one thing we did see a couple of weeks ago, Balmain, when Balmain played Parramatta at Leichhardt Oval, there was a lot of significance on that game as well, as far as Balmain's last game at Leichhardt. We saw the Balmain side really live for that game and in fact beat Parramatta, so I'm not surprised that Balmain side are playing with a lot of enthusiasm, knowing it's the last game in the club's history.
The Extras are added, in fact, from Joel Kane, the 20-year-old. So 6 points to 0, 10th minute. And that is a handy start for the Tigers. Now it's Williamson with the restart for Canberra. Field moves it out to Walker. It's taken by 14. Simon Wolford on there. Lowry. It's been all Balmain in the opening 10 minutes as far as possession goes, and they've won the territory battle as well. Carlaw. About 12 from halfway. Stimson. So Field now wanting to play it in the Raiders territory, and McLinden did well to call that. Running backwards to hopefully go forward. Now he gives it to Jensen. 22 metres out from their own line. They've been slow starters throughout 1999. It's the lowest percentage as far as points go in the opening 20. Corvo fires it out to nobody. But McFadden is there to clean up.
Yeah, tackle 3 there. Just tackle 3. Yeah, we're having a break. We're having a break. Tackle 3.
Signalling time off now, Tim Mander. John Carlaw is down in back play. Oh, head clash with one of his own players.
Not the prettiest sight in rugby league. They do hurt, and I can vouch for that personally.
So another look at it here. And Lulawai and Carlaw with a head clash there. So John will come to the blood bin. "17 is on there now for the Balmain Tigers. It's Craig Hancock.
By the whistle, third 3. Okay.
So we're underway again. And now it's Wiki. 9 from halfway. Got the kick over the top of Morecambe. A good chase by the green jerseys. They really are the green machine today. Hancock. Gives it to Joel Kane. And Nabel. Kylie Lulawai. Mark O'Neill. Good strong run. Lulawai. 12 from halfway. And Nabel kicking from dummy half. And McLinden picks it up on his own try line. He'll play it on the 20. Vainacolo, almost from a standing start. Wolford gives it out to Wesley. Todd Payton now. Only 20 years of age. Big future, so they say.
Yeah, so they say. Well, they say the potential's there, but whether or not the boy wants to do it or not, he was only a couple of months ago was the reserve for reserve grade, but has turned things around to his credit, and now he's in the starting 17, and things are looking good for him next year.
Well, this is Webber. He's a leading point scorer in First Division for the Tigers on debut today. got the pass away back to Nabel. Corvo having a breather as Wesley takes his place. Little knock on there, spotted by Tim Mander. We'll pack the scrum down. Up to the 14th minute. Balmain leading 6-0.
I don't think that hit the ground. But anyway, we'll see a number of those throughout the course of the semi-finals, I'm sure. Well, there's been a few of those in the last 26 rounds, so just too close to call, obviously.
Schrader plays it. Completions. Canberra 4 from 6 and Balmain 6 from 9. Now it's Vainikolo. So the Raiders inside Tigers territory. Wolford. Now he gets it back to Nabel. Wiki couldn't control it. Nabel was there to claim it. And it's Lowry. Wrestled into the turf by Payton. 15 for the Balmain Tigers is Andrew Meads. Field. Luke O'Donnell. Had plenty of pressure on him. Only 18 years old, this kid, Luke O'Donnell. Big day for him. Webster fires it out. Carlaw is back out there after receiving a bit of attention on the sideline. Webster. Field goes to the air. Vainikolo waits for it. It's there for O'Neill. O'Neill needs to keep it alive. Craig Field fires it out. It's been intercepted by Wesley. I'll look for a moment that they may have had the numbers.
I just think Craig Field had his name called out here because it was a very good pass back to the number 17 in Dave Wesley there, but let off the hook once again. I just watching the Canberra Raiders side, they're falling off tackles and they're just not, got that rhythm going. I just feel that they may have come here with without their minds on the job, so it'll be interesting to see whether they can regroup.
Yeah, Greg, I just think I know Canberra are slow starters, as we've already shown, but speaking to Mal Meninga before the game, he was quietly confident they could rack up a pretty big score here. And at the moment, the way they're playing, it doesn't look that way. And I guess if you looked at both these sides, you'd think that Balmain were the ones that were just missing out on the top 8, and Canberra were down the bottom of the table.
That's a big call when you consider Brett Mullins and Cam Nagus both out of this Canberra side, potentially the best 2 attacking weapons in the competition. So it'll be interesting to see how how it turns out. But at this stage, Brett, I think you'd agree. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, the way it looks at the moment, I mean, I know they have been able to rack up some big points in quick time, but as I say, the way they are playing at the moment, it doesn't look that way.
Todd Payton coming to the sideline to have a bit of claret cleaned up. And the Raiders still looking for their first points here. McFadden to Laurie Daly. This is Williamson. Taken by centre. 16, Damien Kennedy from the Western Suburb Magpie. Wolford at dummy half. Luke DeVico. It's a good field position for the Raiders. First time they've threatened this end of the ground. Wolford. This is Croker. Got the fend going, popped it out the back door. Wesley. Well, a good attempt by Wesley. And then Balmain, when he dropped the ball, looked at it. The referee said, "You're okay, play on." But again, a good break by Croker.
A lot more positive here from the Raiders, and well, half a chance, but went to ground, and now Balmain have the ball and they're running out, which they have done very well through the course of the game. So it'll be nice to see if they can keep that up.
Carlaw. And this is Meads. Field. O'Neill. Sterling a second receiver. Field. Nobody at the back, and one bounce into touch. It's good work by Craig Field. Punched the air with a clenched fist when it went into touch. He's psyched up.
What's done, if we can see Craig Field after the result, he was very, very pleased with himself.
Yeah, I do.
Should be an interesting battle, this halfback clash between Field and Andrew McFadden.
They're wrestling the same sort of mould, aren't they? Very nippy players, got a kicking game.
Hold it there. No, you stay in, Shane. Come on, mate. Stay there, stay there.
Well, that was a 40-20. And now centre getting very close. He's already scored one try. And it's the Tigers through Luke O'Donnell. So a timely 40-20 by Craig Field, earning the feed into the scrum and possession down at the right end of the park. Morecambe back to Carlaw. Carlaw stepping, can't find a way through, so real pressure on the Canberra Raiders line here. This is Walker. Just lost his momentum before the pass, but they're inside the 10, the Raiders. So there's a gift 2 points here for Joel Kane if they want to take the shot, or will they keep the pressure on?
Jason, get back now.
And Darren Sender, the captain, pointing to the post. They want to win. They want to go out on a winning note. Just waiting for his kicking tee to arrive. And Glenn, that attacking rate coming from that 40-20 from Craig Field. And he's kicked the most 40-20s in the NRL. And it's such a treat to have a player that can kick 40-20s in your side.
Yeah, look, the Balmain side are running with a little bit of an assistance with the breeze, but that was very well done. And I just felt a lack of discipline there from the Canberra side when you consider the fact that they didn't have to get back a full 10 metres there. It was only a matter of 3 or 4 metres and still couldn't get on side. So as I said, there's worrying signs there for the Canberra Raiders side.
I honestly think they've been blessed that Balmain have decided to take the kick for goal. I would have gone for the 6 points.
Well, they've gone for the 2. They've got them. So it's the Balmain Tigers after 22 minutes leading 8 points to 0.
An interesting thing too, Greg, with the Balmain kicking game, they're concentrating all their kicks down on the Canberra's left wing. And I mean, when you look at the size of Vaynerkala, I don't know whether I'd be that keen on kicking to his wing. I think I'd be kicking to the other wing.
Yeah, so far so good though. They've been able to keep it away from Vaynerkala. Over his head. Oh, he's got a couple of wicked bounces. Anyway, it's now the Tigers and a bit of Canberra sunshine at the moment. O'Neill. He'll play it on his own 20. Andrew Meads. And he kept it alive over on the far side. It'll be a penalty again.
Hold him down.
So again, a lack of discipline there from the Raiders.
Yeah, I think spot on there, mate. Canberra just don't know how to stop this Balmain machine rolling on, and just a really frustrated, attempt to slow the play the ball down, and Tim Mander rightly so giving the penalty to Balmain.
So Field firing them up. This is O'Neill. And you think about Canberra last week, they had their own destiny in their own hands when they took on Penrith at Penrith Stadium. But coming off a bye, they really didn't come out to play.
I don't think this
Get out.
Tempers flaring there. The penalty should go to Balmain for the high shot.
certainly will, and I don't know whether this looked very good either for young Damien Kennedy. I mean, Mal was reported last week saying that, if they couldn't win last week, well, they don't deserve to get in the 8. And I'd have to agree with him. I think, when the chips are down, you tend to think that your side will play its best.
That's a penalty. Shane Walker, Shane, before you come off, mate. Just come here for 2 minutes, mate. Let me look after it, okay? I'm there right on the ball, blew the whistle, okay? So don't think that's a licence for you to do what you want, okay?
Yes, he's very sorry for his actions.
Well, isn't that refreshing?
So Walker.
Yeah, straight around the top. Yeah, probably not as bad as what I first thought, but resenting the fact that he was tackled high and, well, last round, last game, well...
There's a bit of feeling out there.
Bit of feeling there, yeah.
And a good attacking position again for the Tigers. O'Neill. They lead by 8 at the moment, the Tigers. And it's field. Well, they've put it down. And Luke O'Donnell will be disappointed with that. Fairly straightforward pass. Couldn't take it.
Thinking what he was going to do with it before it actually got into his hands. So a let off there for the Canberra side, who were looking very vulnerable there for a moment.
In, Darren, in. Stay there.
McFadden. Gives it to McLinden. He's away from one. Centre did well to break from the scrum and get across in cover. Jensen. Corvo. Wolford waits for it. To the short side they go. Jason Burnham. A roar of the crowd from the Raiders supporters here, because that's a rare penalty for them. Not suggesting they deserve penalties prior to that. So this may lift them. Good field position now. They're looking for their first points, and Corvo takes them on. Gives it out now to McLinden. He's stepping. They held on to one leg, and that was enough to ground him. Wolford. DeVico. McLinden. Taken. Corvo. DeVico. 2 or 3 metres out from the line. Wolford and Daly. Daly gave it to McFadden. Webster made the tackle. Back to Daly. Just kicking it in off the post. And it's kicked dead by Craig Field, so the Raiders will get it back.
Well, the first real attacking opportunity for the Raiders, and well, I think that's probably the result they wanted other than scoring a try. So they'll get another set of 6 and put more pressure on the Balmain side, who I thought defended very, very well.
Well, they did defend well. Look, I think the key to the Raiders winning this game is Andrew McFadden. I think he's already looked like making 2 breaks. It's, if he can keep this form going, it's going to take a lot of pressure off Laurie Daly, and he'll have a lot more room to do things out wide.
Well, that's Corvo returning that drop out. 35 metres out from the line. DeVico running onto it. McFadden. Switch of play. Daly. To Kennedy. Well, Daly can't believe it. They've got them for a forward pass. Just having a look at it now on the replay. Well, Daly asked the referee to have a look at it on the big screen here. I haven't seen that too often.
Take it easy. When you're ready, let's go.
The other thing too was that Tim Mander had his hand on Laurie Daly. I know the players aren't allowed to put their hands on referees, but does the same apply in the reverse?
What are you going to do? Sin bin the referee?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think he treats them all as mates.
Yeah.
32 metres out from the Tigers line. And Lulawai.
Again, the Canberra side just not able to put any real pressure on the Balmain side through silly errors. It may not have been a forward pass, but in the end it was touch and go, and the referee decided it was a forward pass.
Vanicolo. 28 metres out from his own line. To the short side they go. And Jason Croker has been in try-scoring form. In fact, he's the Raiders' leading try scorer this year with 14. Not as many as 22 in 1994. Canberra have had to work pretty hard so far in this match. Now it's Williamson. The kick ahead by McFadden. He'll chase, but it's going to beat everybody over the dead ball line, so we'll come back to the 20 for a restart. 28 minutes gone. Balmain 8, Canberra 0. Setterfield is waiting for it now, Craig Field, and giving it out. Webster to Carlo running onto it. '15 is Meads. Lulawai. Former Auckland Warrior Junior. Related to James Lulawai, the Kiwi international from years ago. Carlo. It's a changeover. Balmain starting to really threaten over on that far side. Field.
Well, they picked Laurie Daly up for a touch and go forward pass. That one I think was a mile forward and let it go. So a little bit of inconsistency there, but those things usually work out in the end.
Vainikolo. He'll play it back to Williamson. Balmain still having the best of the possession and the territory. Wiki got up and picked up another metre or two. Orford got it back. McGlinden into space. Full back to beat. Turns it back on the inside. Furner stepping. Still going, David Furner. Fires it back to Payton. It's been knocked down. Tackle count restarts. Wolford over the top it goes. Williamson over the top again. Vainikolo, and the Raiders are in the corner. Great stuff, Canberra. 8 points to 4. 30 minutes gone.
When Simon Wolford runs the dummy out there, I thought, oh, that was the wrong thing to do, but he got a ball away. The acceleration of McFadden. Good backing up here by David Furner. He looks, big step off the left foot. Looking around, and he finds number 15 in Todd Payton, the front row of all things. Number 18, Andrew McFadden, picks a long ball from Simon Wolford over to the centre, Luke Williamson, and of course, long ball over to the big winger. And that is one of the better rugby league tries I've seen for quite a while. Just backing up all over the place, and some really good passes and acceleration. Had everything.
Well, I think this is a try that may help lift the Raiders, and as you mentioned, Lazo, it did have everything, a lot of backing up from some of the big men as well. We see it being knocked down there, but when it gets out to Williamson, he does this very well. It's good long pass there, but he knew he had the winger on the outside, took the Balmain winger in with him, and then turned. A very good pass, or a very good try.
And just after that try, Tim Mender having a chat with Laurie Daly. Laurie questioning some decisions, in particular one forward pass that went against the Raiders. Just a bit of a chat on the run.
As all mates do.
And the captain is allowed to question the referee, as Glenn Lazarus would know, as captain of the Melbourne Storm.
Well, I think that shows a lot of maturity in both men's part. I mean, one, the fact that Laurie can go up and calmly talk to a referee about a problem he has seen. And, of course, Tim Mander being a referee. I just think every now and again referees tend to think that they're unapproachable and unable to communicate. But I just felt that was a very, very good sign that both men are prepared to listen to each other and work the problem out.
And that's a very good kick indeed from Luke Williamson. So just 2 points in it now. Canberra 6, Balmain 8, 32nd minute. Yeah, Brett, as Glenn said, this was a good lead up and a pretty good finish.
Well, I just think he was very smart with what he did there. He probably had the opportunity to try and beat the winger himself, but instead he knew he had his winger outside him and ran inside and threw the ball back out wide.
Just looking for a bit of sand now to kick off.
I'm just wondering, Greg, whether Balmain will have memories of their game against Canterbury, where they started very well and they actually scored the first 2 points, first 2 tries, and unfortunately couldn't go on with it, and they seem to have fallen into the same situation here today.
But this is a different situation. A lot of emotion out there because it is their last game as this standalone club. Foundation club formed in 1908. They've given Australia 39 internationals, including 5 test captains. Quite a few of their stars from years gone by in the crowd here today. Benny Elias, Gary Freeman, Bruce Maguire there as well, James Grant. And it's a try score of Colo now for the Raiders. Wolford. McFadden, Daly back on the inside. Ferner. There's a good tackle in the end by Stimson. It had to be made. McFadden dummying. McFadden is through. He's got support on the inside, and there's another try to the Canberra Raiders. When they put the foot on the gas, the Green Machine, they are good, no doubt about that. And Luke Williamson scores their second try in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, in the last 10 minutes of each half is when sides are most vulnerable as far as defence is concerned, because we are tired, and of course they're just a lazy tackle by the number 18, Kylie. What's his name, Greg? Luluai. The pace of McFadden getting through, and of course inside to Luke Williamson and over for a try. And I just felt that it was only a matter of time. You could sense it was about to happen, and I suppose credit to Canberra. They looked as though they were on the, done on their feet, and of course they've come back and scored 2 quick tries, and I'm pretty sure they'll go on from here.
Well, I mentioned before that McFadden, if he could start to create some gaps and make a few breaks, he's going to take a lot of pressure off Laurie Daly. But as we just saw then, not only can he make the breaks, he can set up the tries as well. Had a good start to this game.
Well, I mean, it's must be wonderful to have acceleration, Bert. So I don't know what it feels like, but just that, and that's all it was. It was just a matter of putting the accelerator down, getting around a slow forward, and having someone back up. Simple stuff, but very, very effective.
So Williamson will try and convert his own try. 20 metres in from the far touch. Off the uprights and bounced over the crossbar.
Still worth 2 points, Greg.
Mel Meninga looks on. 12 points to 8. It's the Raiders over Balmain.
Well, he went around the world to get this, but as I said, it's still worth 2 points no matter how many crossbars or uprights it hits.
And you would know because you landed a goal.
Well, yeah.
In your last home game at Olympic Park in the Premiership rounds.
One of the more memorable moments, mate.
1 from 1. You'll treasure that statistic.
Oh, yeah.
This is Wesley. He'll play it about 21 metres out from his own line. Under 5 minutes remaining in this first half. They go wide.
And no, I didn't shut my eyes, as someone has just mentioned. I knew what I was doing. Sure I did.
McFadden and Daly. Croker.
Greg, this is a real danger time for the Tigers. We've seen Canberra's come up with 2 tries already, and they're starting to get a bit of a roll on, making a few yards up the middle. And, with 4 minutes to go, a little less than 4 minutes to go, it's a very dangerous time for the Tigers.
The fullback now, Chris Morecambe. Well, they certainly need to complete this set of 6. Get down to the other end of the park. .12 from halfway. This is Luluai. Looking to redeem himself after he missed McFadden before. Field and Carlaw got away from one. John Carlaw sprinting, got it back to Webster. He loses it, and the Raiders come up with it. It would have been a great try if they were able to finish that one, Balmain. They just couldn't go on with it.
A simple inside ball to big JC, John Carlisle, and unfortunately for the Tigers, the ball went to ground. But again, one thing you look for in a side when you look talking about enthusiasm is that scrambling defence, and Canberra certainly had it there.
Linden up from fullback. And Daly. Ferner. Croker. That's the halfway mark.
16.
Penalty.
You put pressure on, caught him out.
Well, he warned him time and time again. Wasn't prepared to listen, so
Get the starts on me, Darren.
penalty was given.
Three blokes are back where they're going early, mate.
So Daly finds touch. That's the broadcast side at Bruce Stadium, which is in great shape. One of the Olympic venues for football. Wesley. Yeah, real pressure here on Balmain. They've allowed 2 tries from Canberra in the last 10 minutes. As they head to half-time, they really can't afford to concede another one. To the short side they go, and that's McFadden. Burnham. Not a great pass from dummy half. Knockback. So Ferner keeps it alive now. McLinden and Croker. Got it back to Burnham. Payton out the back door. Ferner over the top it goes. Burnham.
Little one. Forward. Went forward. That's it. Don't argue. You knocked it on. That's it. End of story.
Yes, young fella, don't argue with him. He cannot change his decisions.
He spotted a little knock on there. Canberra couldn't see it.
Well, there's probably a good reason to argue there, but again, here he goes. Yeah, get into him, big fella. But it was looking promising there, but unfortunately the little drop ball and the knock-on was called. But a let off for the Tigers side with a minute or so to go there. They didn't need another 6 points scored on them.
But Glenn, in rugby league nowadays with referees, you're really flirting with danger if you drop a ball. Doesn't matter whether it goes forward initially.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the unfortunate thing, it depends on which ref you get, determines the calls in some cases. But Canberra hard done by there. But as I said, those things usually work out in the end.
So that is half-time here at Bruce Stadium. And after leading early, the Tigers go to the break, trailing at the moment. It's Canberra 12, Balmain 8. And it's the Tigers kicking off. Can they go out as a standalone club on a winning note? Played 1,702 matches now, and they've won 870, 51% winning rate. And they'll be celebrating in Tigerland if they can come back now and win this one today. This is Corvo. The Tigers centre. His 100th appearance for Balmain, leading the tackle count.
Well, that's what's expected of a captain, to be leading by example, and 18 tackles from Darren Centre is a wonderful effort. And of course in the tackle count, well, both locks having wonderful games. Jason Croker leading the Canberra side, and I just felt that the first half was a tale of 2 different 20-minute periods. I think that the first 20 minutes Balmain certainly looked as though they were on top. Sorry, yep.
This is a 40-20 for the Raiders, and it's their first 40-20 for the match. We saw one from Balmain early on, so that's great work by the Raiders. A great platform now to really get into the swing of things in the second half. They were slow starters in the first half. This is McLinden. Change of direction for him, trying to get on the outside of his man, and that is Nathan Webber, the tackler in the 4 jersey. Daly gives it to Wiki. So early pressure here for the Tigers. Wilford Damian giving it to David Ferner, taken by Stimson and also Webster. Now it is Wolford, who's basically over the line, but he can't get the ball down, so he's held up. So they're going to get the feed into the scrum again.
just on that 40-20, Bert, the breeze must be stronger than what we think.
Yeah, it is. It's very strong up top. Probably down on ground level, it's not too bad. But once they get that ball in the air, it's certainly got a stiff breeze blowing behind it.
This is McFadden with the kick. Great placement. And now Daly got rid of one. McLinden, it's 2-on-1 over on the far side, and the big man crashes over Vainikolo. That is a great start to the second half for the Canberra Raiders. Came from the 40-20, and then Wilford was held up over the line, and Vainikolo gets his second try in this match.
I think the main reason why the Canberra side came back in the second half, in the second half of the first half, sorry, was the fact that their big three attacking weapons, McFadden, McLinden and Laurie Daly, came to the fore. And as we just saw then, I think McLinden and Laurie Daly heavily involved in this. And big fella, Vainikolo over in the corner, very unstoppable from metre out, Bert.
Yeah, when you've got a guy like this on the wing, you try and get the ball to him as quickly as possible, and that's what the Raiders did, and very big and strong, and just crashed over for a very good try. It's been a good start for the Raiders, and that's something that Mel spoke about at half-time. He was talking about he wanted a 40-20 kick, which is what he received, and they've just taken it on from there.
So Williamson will try and add the extras from right over on the far touchline. Bit of try and 2 conversions so far. So that's the distance and the angle for him. It's difficult.
I think he'll kick this, Greg. He's got the wind blowing directly behind it. I think he's got a fair few things in his favour. I knew I'd put the mocker on him.
Everything in his favour except direction.
And the other thing too, of course, he was right in front of all the Balmain supporters up here today to support their side in their last game as a club. So not surprised that he missed it, Bert.
No, I guess not. The pressure may have got to him.
A little tip, stick to tipping racehorses.
I can't do that real well either. Interesting to note, we just saw Mal Meninga has moved down onto the bench and sitting with the players. Normally we see him up in the top of the grandstands, but he's decided to spend the second half down here with his side.
Well, knowing that it's all over after today for 1999, although Mel, of course, will be making a comeback to playing in the Legends match in Townsville, coming up in the near future.
Well, let's hope he doesn't take his frustrations out on the opposition up there. As I said earlier, I think he'd be very frustrated when you look back on the year and the games that they let slip. 3 games come to mind straight away, which would mean another 6 points would be very handy at this stage.
Wolford from dummy half gives it to Daly. He gets the kick in. Got it over the head of Joel Kane, and it's into touch as well. And Daly fires. The Raiders fire. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, you can feel the emotion, I think, around here today, and I think one of the things that does happen when you win a grand final is that you form a bond with the players that you played alongside, and there's a lot of those here today. And I look down at the Balmain First Division side and wonder what the future holds for them as their club moves into a merger with the Western Suburbs club, and you can just feel that emotion around the ground at the moment. I just wonder whether Balmain will try and grab some of that emotion to try and get themselves in the position to win the football game. But at the moment, it just doesn't look that way, Greg.
Yeah, well, they need to grab that emotion pretty quickly. Now McLinden picking it up. 15 out from his own line. And Jensen is taken immediately. Stimson over the top and Field underneath. Now it's Vainikolo. Still only 20 years of age, Leslie Vainikolo. So if you think back to 1989, when these two sides met in the grand final, he would have been 10 living in Auckland in those days.
Well, I remember one day we were playing the Wild Nines in Townsville, and I walked into the elevator, and the man in question was standing in the elevator, and he was quite friendly in those days. I asked him about him, and he said he was something like 16 or something. And I thought, God, how big is this man at 16? And he's playing very well for the Canberra side. And well, what sort of future does he have if he's prepared to put it in? If we see Laurie Daly make a break.
Daly has got the legs pumping. Picks up Ruben Wiki. Wiki take the tackle. And they keep it alive. Over the top it goes now to Williamson. And Leslie Vayner-Colo has got a hat-trick. What a way to finish the season for the Volcano. Leslie Vayner-Colo, 3 tries today. And the Raiders just starting to look a lot sharper.
Well, something that the Canberra Raiders crowd has become very used to is seeing Laurie Daly making breaks like this. In Anthony Mundine's words, those old legs were pumping away there. Very good discipline here by Ruben Wiki just to go to ground with that. And of course, they say history doesn't repeat itself. Well, I'm here to say that it does. And the big fella, 1 metre out, put the big left foot step on, and very, very hard to stop there.
Yeah, it was a very good try, and as you said, those old legs were still moving pretty quickly.
I didn't say that. Anthony Mundine did.
Well, I know Anthony Mundine, as you brought. I was actually going to bring it up myself. You know, those old legs have still got a bit of pace in them.
Betty Elias, one of the greats from the Balmain Tigers. He was there in '89 in that epic grand final against the Raiders, won by Canberra in extra time.
A man they used to love to hate. If you weren't a Balmain supporter, you hated the man, but I tell you what, you certainly respected him on the way he played the football game.
Yeah, I think they'd like to have him out there now. Greg, you mentioned before that you know, there was a lot of emotion out there, and Balmain might be able to perform, but it's looking now as if it's reminiscent of how they went against Canterbury last week.
Well, I suppose the Balmain side are at a stage where they've got a decision to make, whether they just shut up shop and you know, just hope that the clock runs down a bit faster than normal, or do they dig in and give that one last hurrah as the season is drawing to a close for them.
20 points to 8. And Laurie Daly set up that initial raid, 217th match. So he's only 11 first-grade appearances behind Steve Walters, who's #1 for the Canberra Raiders, because he's the only survivor from the '89 grand final in today's lineup. And there's the restart from Balmain. Luke DeVico. He'll play it 20 metres out from his own line. Schrader gives it off to David Furner. He's the leading point scorer in the history of the Canberra Raiders. Corvo. Some pretty easy meters there for Canberra, and they're dominating possession. Balmain playing 57% of the match so far inside their own half. And Laurie Daly spotted the gap. Talk about the old legs pumping. Got it out to DeVico. He'll play it on the 30. Wolford gives it to Daly again. Back on the inside, McLinden. McLinden fired one around the corner, and it's been knocked on by Balmain, so it's going to be Canberra who'll get the feed into the scrum again.
It's great vision there to step off the right foot and accelerate away. Looking around, he finds big Luke DeVico backing up on his inside, goes to ground. Balmain side at this stage was scrambling back and got a hand to the ball, and now it's a scrum with Canberra on the attack.
McFadden to McLinden. How many times have we heard that this year? And McLinden's in for a try. How many times have we seen that this year? 10 times. His 10th try, Mark McLinden. He's the only Canberra Raider player to have played in every premiership match this year. And so maybe the floodgates are opening now.
Just a matter of holding the ball out in two hands, putting the defence in two minds, and then that acceleration once again just too much for Darren Centre there.
Yeah, he certainly has some class about him, hasn't he? But when players do hold the ball out in front of them with two hands, you know, you're not sure whether they're going to pass or run the ball, and this guy has got plenty of ability, and I think now it's a case of just by how much Canberra can win this game by.
running it around to give Luke Williamson a better shot at goal. 10 tries in 1999 for the 20-year-old. That is not a happy camp at the moment. The Balmain Tigers to an early lead, 8 points to 0. But Canberra have now run in 24 unanswered points. The flags go up this time. He's got the radar back on track. And it's 26 points to 8, 53rd minute. Real danger signs now for the Raiders. There's yet another restart by Balmain. Wesley. Jensen. The right winger. His colleague over on the left wing has scored 3 tries. Penalty to Canberra.
Well, I've ruled that you could have made a better effort than that, Darren.
I think you find just a frustrated Darren Centre here. Yeah, I suppose there's some argument there that he was unable to get up, but in the end, as Tim Anna said, he just didn't try as hard as what he think he could have.
Come back.
They're lining up here now, the Canberra side, to take that ball, full of enthusiasm.
Wesley, 3 metres inside Balmain territory. This is Payton. Wolford, McFadden, Ferner. Allowed to offload. McFadden again. Dumming, stepping. Eventually, Lulawai wrestles him into the turf. Ferner. A bit of a hospital pass there to Todd Payton. He was crunched just as he attempted to catch that football, and the Tigers have it. John Carlaw coming up immediately on Payton. He was under all sorts of pressure to try and control the pass. This is Adam Nabel. The Tigers just need to control possession now. Lowry. Field. And into touch, one bounce. The scrum will pack down a few metres inside Canberra territory. And Craig Field, the battle with his opposition halfback, Andrew McFadden. It was pretty even Stevens in the first 20 minutes or so, but McFadden, with the green machine going forward, has been able to dominate that battle.
Back it up to Canberra, back it up a bit, son.
Well, this is Schrader. Just inside Tigers territory, 26-8, 15.5 gone in the second half. Wolford and Daly. Daly with the dummy. Daly fires it over to Williamson, and he's got a double. Put that one down to Laurie Daly. That's another try assist for him. And Williamson, it's his second try in the match so far.
Well, there's very few players in today's game that when they decide that they want to win the football game, they can actually do anything about it. But this guy is one of them. Laurie Daly, a little bit unsighted in the first half, but he's come out in the second half, obviously wanting to win the game, and he's laid on 3 tries for his Canberra side.
Yeah, look, this is good work by Laurie Daly. I honestly believe he probably could have scored himself. He started to stumble there and obviously felt he was going to fall to the ground, but it was a simple try in the finish.
So that is now, what, the 6th try in the match for Canberra. They lead 30 points to 8 after they were down 8-0. couple of line breaks today, and he's laid on tries from those line breaks. So Williamson trying to convert the try, and it's all smiles out there at the moment for the green machine. Luke Williamson guides it between the uprights. So they're into the 30s well and truly now. It's 32 points to 8, 58th minute.
And as we said before, players that can hold the ball in two hands always create doubt in the defensive line. He created some doubt in the Balmain line, all right, and he's gone through and put Luke Williamson over for a very, very soft try.
McFadden gives it to Payton. Up to the 20. And this is Ruben Wiki. It's always been an unhappy journey to the nation's capital for Balmain. They haven't won here. And the biggest win was in 1995 by Canberra over Balmain. 18 points, the difference there. So the way it's going to be a new record scoreline for Canberra over Balmain. Oh, Daly spotted the gap straight through. Options either side. He went to the inside to McFadden. Final tackle coming up. Daly dropping it onto the right foot, and it's into the in goal. And that was good work by the fullback in the end, Morecambe, because he made certain that the ball went dead. So they'll get the restart back on the 20.
Here we go, his fourth line break of the half. Straight through, and I just felt he may have taken the wrong option here. I think big Todd Payton was on his outside, and I just felt that he could have offloaded to another Canberra player, but we'll forgive him for that one.
And so often when Daly makes a break, he's either got McFadden or McLinden there, so he's probably familiar with the headgear.
Well, I guess he looked one side and saw the size of the bloke that's on the outside, looked at the speed of the guy on the inside and went that way.
So Lowry's having a breather. Kick over the top. That's good work by Balmain, but it came unstuck. Morecambe just couldn't control the pass. Jensen picks it up now. He's chased by Craig Hancock, got away from him. Eventually it's going to be Webber who will make the tackle. Indication that maybe the Green Machine think they've got this one well and truly wrapped up is the fact that they're making some changes, and some important changes as well. Laurie Daly having a breather.
I don't think we've seen the last of Laurie. I think he'll want to come out and be a part of this victory later on as the game winds down.
Laurie just going into the dressing room, maybe to get a quick check on the shoulder.
Bring the backs together. No, hang on. Just sort it out.
Scrub backing down on the halfway mark.
Okay, when you're ready.
Craig
Get back, get in. That's out now.
Field dummying. Linking up now with Morecambe, the fullback. Will this spark something for the Balmain Tigers? Carlaw keeping it alive, and they knock it on. Adam Nabel standing there. I don't know if he was expecting the pass or not, but it went to ground. He's not happy with it.
Disappointed, but a great cover tackle there by Ruben Wiki on Craig Field. Craig Field, I thought, worth noting and mention.
I know things haven't probably worked out for Balmain as yet. We just saw a knock on there, and we saw the little kick over the top a little earlier on. But I think these are the types of things they've got to do. The Tigers, I mean, they've got nothing to lose. They should be throwing the ball around, trying a few things, and just seeing what can happen.
Dumming there, Todd Payton.
He's just lost that in the tackle. That was a really good tackle. He's just lost it in the tackle.
Well, we're glad you appreciate it, Tim.
Mate.
Yeah, let's have a look at this really good tackle. Yeah, very good tackle. Big man Todd Payton, and he was stopped in his tracks and the ball came loose. I agree with you, Tim. A very good tackle.
There's no hint of sarcasm in your comment there, is there?
No, none whatsoever. I would never be sarcastic towards a referee. They're doing a wonderful, wonderful job.
As you're still playing the game, Glenn, what's your opinion of the way the referees are now handling their matches, calling players by their first name or sometimes their nicknames?
Yeah,
it was the numbers.
I don't see a problem with that, mate. I tell you what, I wouldn't like to be doing their job, and they're doing the job to the best of their ability. And if they call me Glenn or Lazo or whatever, it just doesn't really worry me at all.
And now it's the Tigers. You wouldn't want to do their job. I don't think they'd like to do your job either. I certainly wouldn't want to do that. Taking up the football, doing the hard yards for the Melbourne Storm. But now it's the Tigers, and Morecambe, he was on the ground and kept it alive. And so they're only about 9 metres out. The Balmain fans wanting some more points here from their charges, and this is Andrew Meads, gives it back to Craig Field. Field got it away to Kane, and Kane's going to be wrapped up by Wolford. Adam Nable. Field dumming, just looking for a hole, ducking under it and losing the pass. It's gone forward. The pass has gone forward. Bit of friction back there too. I think Craig Field might be a little frustrated with this situation.
Okay, just move away. Just walk away. Yeah, there's nothing in there, okay? Just walk away. We're going to scrum here.
The scrum will pack down 10 metres out from the Raiders line, but they'll get the feed into the scrum.
Oh, God.
Is he off?
Colo taken by Webber, Corvo and Daly. And he ready to come back onto the field. Damien Kennedy, 8 from halfway. Burnham gives it to Wiki, and now Croker. Back to Williamson. McFadden looking to turn it back on the inside, but he was wrapped up there by Luke O'Donnell. Wolford and Schrader. The inside pass was forward.
Last one. Forward pass.
That was the final tackle.
Back over there.
Change over. O'Donnell.
Stand up. Stand up.
Set to call on some teenagers this year. The Balmain coach, Wayne Pearce. 16, Luke O'Donnell, only 18 years of age. And this is Laloa Milford. This guy's got a ton of pace. Laurie Daly coming across. Can he get there? No, he can't. Laloa Milford scores a good individual try for the Balmain Tigers. Talk about speed to burn. Oh, Laurie Daly had just come off the interchange bench, went across, thought he had him covered. But Milford put the foot down.
He's called for the video referee on this one. I'm just not quite sure why, but I'm sure we'll see.
See the advantage, mate. Go the try, go the replay.
So it's Milford just looking for a bit of obstruction there as number 4, Nathan Webber, got into the play.
This will be a try, I'm sure. The board indicates that, so... well, a try that came from nothing, but I'm very, very glad I came and saw the speed of
Young Laloa Milford.
Mr. Laloa Milford. All those old legs, as we indicated before, just didn't have that pace to get him either.
Plenty of determination. He could see Daly coming across, but he had him covered. Seen some great tries from Milford this year. But maybe in recent years. I seem to remember more than 2. Joel Kane looking to keep his perfect record intact today. No problems. He adds the extra 2. So now it is 32 points to 14, 67th minute.
This is a good try by Balmain. It was quite a good pass by Craig Field. And I don't know whether he actually meant it to go to Milford, but once he got in the clear, the old legs that we spoke about earlier with Laurie Daly just didn't help him out then.
I think we started something there.
Yeah, I don't know whether young legs would have caught the big fella there. He was flying.
So now it's Balmain. Still plenty of time for plenty of points here at Bruce Stadium. Field allowed to run to the line. This is Craig Hancock. Field again. Plucked out of the air by O'Donnell. Field. Crunched by DeVico, but he got the pass away. Meads to O'Donnell. 10 metres inside the Raiders' territory. This time Field goes to the air. Morecambe coming through, so too is McLinden. Morecambe took it. Did he knock it on? Yes, he did. Just couldn't control it at the last minute.
Well, it's a bit unlucky there, but I think the right decision in the end.
Corvo. McFadden gives it now to DeVico. Daly. Schrader. Kennedy. After today, Canberra can look ahead to the year 2000. And Laurie Daly tried the short kick. They get the penalty. Penalty again. He's marched them. And then he's got someone.
14.
So they're down to 12 men now. Mark Stimson goes to the sin bin. That is not what the Balmain Tigers required. Now this is Corvo. McFadden gives it to DeVico. Wolford and McFadden double round with Wolford, turns it back inside, and David Ferner left it behind. So they'll pack the scrum down. Brett, I mentioned the Raiders can look ahead to the year 2000 after they complete their premiership campaign today. And if you take Laurie Daly, who's only 29, mind you, so Laurie's going to be around for many of years yet. But you take Laurie Daly out of that back line today, and the average age is 20. Of course, when Ken Nagus comes back and also Brett Mullins, the average age will go up. But what I'm trying to get across is that they certainly have plenty of fine young talent in the back line.
Wait, hold it there. Down.
And I think a wonderful future if they can retain the bulk of those players. I think it's been proven over the years that a side that can stick together usually experiences a lot of success. And I know they're very, very excited about some of the wonderful young forwards they've got coming through the grades. So if they can keep the bulk of those players, I think the future is pretty rosy for the Canberra Raiders.
And for the Balmain Tigers, some of these players have already been signed for the merger team with Western Suburbs for next year. Craig Hancock now, he'll be forced to play it. 18 from halfway. Carlaw. Taken by McFadden and DeVico. Craig Field. McLinden perfectly positioned, 20 metres out from his own line. Dummying. Can't find a way through. Inside the final 10 minutes of the season for these sides. The final 10 minutes for the Balmain Tigers. Been around for 92 years. And Luke DeVico having some trouble getting to his feet. David Ferner. Walford. Good metres from dummy half. Pops it over. McFadden looking for support. And Daly just couldn't pick that one up. And so it is the Tigers coming away with it. Craig Field. Webster. Kane. Hancock. Recovered though. Schrader with the tackle. Webster. Field. Gets it out to O'Donnell. That's the halfway mark. They're down to 12 men. Stimson in the sin bin. Nabel got rid of McFadden. Pops it out the back door and Field has knocked it on. Kicks it away in frustration. It's been one of those days.
Yeah, it has, and the Canberra crowd not too impressed with that little show of frustration from Craig Field, but boy's getting tired now, and here we go. It's probably the best kick he's done all day. No, he hasn't. It's probably gone where he wanted it to go though. But yeah, look, just frustration about the. I think the whole year is coming to a close very quickly for the Balmain Tigers, and they're realising it.
Schrader back on the inside. Jensen taken by Kane. 6 tries to 2. 3 of them for Canberra to Leslie Vayner-Colo. DeVico, let's play on. The ball was stripped. It was 1-on-1. And Balmain still have it. Morecambe a dummy half, giving it to O'Donnell. He loses a jersey. Field missed out one player. That's the halfway mark now. Webster, the double round, and Morecambe coming in, throws the dummy on the ground, and it's play on. And so Ferner has it. For a moment, it looked like there was an opportunity for a counter-attack out to the left, but Daly brings Jensen back in now. He's taken by Hancock, 2 metres from the 40-metre mark. Now it's DeVico. Good pass. Burnham. Wickie charging onto it. Ruben Wickie. The gap opened up. And that's a fine try to the second row. The Kiwi international slams it down between the sticks. Try number 7 for the Raiders. The coach is happy. And why not? That was good running into the gap. 36-14.
Certainly was. As we'll see here, the ball's just going from one side to the other. Nothing really happening until someone decided to straighten the ball up. And of course, Ruben Wickie at full steam. Very hard to stop at the best of times. But when there's a gap like this and you possess a step like that, you're going to score more often than not. And of course, he deserved that try. He's had a fairly sound game as far as his work rate and everything's concerned. But, well, you know, a try that obviously was coming from nothing, but probably deserved in the end.
Well, it was a very good pass, wasn't it? And then the ball turned back inside, and Ruben Wickie, very good step. Former centre, so you'd expect he'd still have a fair bit of pace.
And we do appreciate the hairstyle for today's game as well.
It's very nice. They call them foils. Is that foils or streaks?
Oh, I don't know. You two, you're telling the story.
And from right in front, Mark Corvo added the extra 2. That'll be a first for him for the year. He's still pumping the air ahead.
I know how he feels. I know how he feels.
This is getting a bit much now. You know, front rowers kicking goals.
Well, we don't like to bring too many aces out of our little bag of tricks at once. We tend to stretch them out a bit, but yeah, good on him. And he's got exactly the same percentage as what I have. 100%. You can't get any better than that.
And I think he took himself off the field too. I don't think he was that keen on having another shot.
Didn't want to spoil the record.
No.
Ruben Wiki, he's been a good club man this year because he's played centre, second row. He's even packed down in the front row.
And done a wonderful job at it too. We played Canberra here earlier on this season. He played in the front row and had a wonderful game. They just keep finding them, the Canberra Raiders, players that can play a number of positions. None better, of course, than Jason Krager.
That time, Balmain tried the short kick off, and it's paid off because they forced a mistake from the Canberra Raiders. A little knock on spotted by Tim Mander.
Okay, back up here, fellas. Back up here. Here's a knock on up here. Knock on back here, Jason.
Yeah, nothing to argue with there.
Craig Field to Webster. Now Webber, the debutant and the 40th player used by Balmain this year. So they've had a frustrating year through injury, suspension and the like. Now they've got an overlap, but the cover is coming across to Craig Hancock. He gives it to Kane back on the inside. Ferner, he did well to come across in cover, the second rower. Nabel and Field. Field kicking in behind the line. The chase is on. Hancock. The dead ball line, I think, beat him. Yes, it did. So Tim Mander is telling Burnham just to wait for him.
He obviously wanted him to wait, did he?
And the dead ball line just beating Craig Hancock. Would have been great for the Tigers to finish on some sort of high like that. Canberra's biggest ever win over Balmain, and it's not all over yet. Leslie Vainicolo tried to go right over the top of Lower Milford. McFadden, the ball picked up now by Damien Kennedy. It's play on. 2 minutes remaining. 38-14. Damien Kennedy getting to his feet now. Can the Raiders finish with a bit of a flourish? To the short side they go. Payton dummying, giving it back on the inside to Luke Williamson. And if it's good enough for Leslie Vainicolo to get three, Williamson says it's good enough for me. A hat trick to Luke Williamson to cap off a fine performance in the second half in particular by the Raiders. They're into the 40s.
And as we said earlier on in the call, Todd Payton has got a lot of reps around the Canberra area, and he showed a lot of skill to put Luke Williamson out, I think it was, for a try. Very good ball skills there. So maybe the raps are deserved, because he certainly showed a lot of skill there.
Luke Williamson, 3 tries, 4 goals. So quick calculation, that's 20 points for today.
And I dare say that's the biggest win Canberra has had over Balmain in its history.
And Simon Walford, he wants to have a shot at goal. He's smiling already just at the thought of having a shot at goal.
Well, Greg, I can tell you, Mark Corvey got off his seat. He tried to get on to have another go.
First attempt at the goal. In first grade from out wide, stabs it. Oh, waved away. For a moment, it looked like it wasn't a bad attempt. So we're heading towards full time here.
Isn't it funny when all the pressure's off how all the goal kickers come to the surface?
So Walford is coming off.
Back that.
Filthy about missing the kick too.
That's a halfway mark.
Something for him to work on in the pre-season.
Full-time siren sounds here, and it brings down the curtain on the Balmain Tigers as a standalone club. They don't go out winners here today. It's the Canberra Raiders, too strong at home. They led 12-8 at half-time, and Canberra have won it 42 points to 14. Laurie Daly had a fine match to finish the Raiders campaign in 1999. Craig Field and the Tigers, well, they had a dig, but they just weren't up to it today. Leslie Vainikolo, he's happy. 3 tries.
Well, as we said at the beginning of the game, that there was no real significance in the game as far as points and positions on the ladder were concerned, but there was, obviously a lot of pride at stake, and I'm sure I can guarantee you now the fact that the Canberra Raiders side are coming off with a victory are feeling a lot more pleased about themselves than what the Balmain side are. The future for the players, well, who knows? They're obviously going to be negotiating over the pre-season, and hopefully we'll see most of these players back out on the field next year, but probably a disappointing end, I suppose, to Balmain's year. Started off with a lot of promise at the start of the year and fell away in the middle there. As you said, using 40 players is a fair high ratio of players to use in a year, and obviously just couldn't cope with it. So I don't know what they can get out of the year. Obviously they'll just start off fresh next year with the merger with the Western Suburbs side, and let's hope they can be very, very competitive, because they will get the support, as we can see across the other side of the oval here. There's quite a few Balmain supporters have made the way up to Canberra to, I suppose, give them that one last farewell as the Balmain Tigers now do not exist, I suppose.
Formed in 1908, one of the foundation clubs. Played over 1,700 matches, won 11 premierships, provided 39 internationals and 5 test captains. At full time here today at Bruce Stadium in Canberra. The Canberra side too good, winning 42 points to 14. Williamson a hat-trick, Vainikolo a hat-trick, McLinden and Wiki got 4-pointers, Williamson 4 goals, Corvo 1 conversion. For Balmain, the try scorers Milford and centre, and Joel Kane kicked 3 conversions. So hope you've enjoyed our coverage, and on behalf of Glenn Lazarus and Brett Kenny, I'm Greg Clark. Farewell from the nation's capital, Bruce Stadium in Canberra.